Today I went out walking, just walking. I took my water bottle and filled it with water and I went out walking, as you do, right? And when I went out walking, I put my hair up because my hair has become really, really long right now. And I thought to myself, I should probably, go to a barber and cut my hair. And then I also thought well, that shit costs like $50 here in Sweden. So I thought to myself, why the fuck do I need to fucking pay that much every time I should cut my hair? And I realized something, right? Why don't I just cut my own hair, right? Why don't I just sit in front of a mirror and cut my own hair? And the answer to that was quite simple, because I can't. I don't know how the fuck to do that, right? I have no idea how to cut my own hair. And then I thought, why the fuck haven't I learned to cut my own hair yet? Why is that not a thing? You cut your toenails, you fucking shave and everything. Why not cut your own hair? Why is cutting your own hair such a big deal? I've got general sense that people look down on people who cut their own hair, most likely because it looks like shit when I do it. But why not, learn to cut your own hair from when you're a little baby, just like you learn to brush your teeth or you learn to fucking cut your toenails, What the fuck? Why didn't my mom just teach me to cut my own hair as well? What? Why is that not a thing? Really? Imagine that every time that you had to go to the barber, you took that money, you put it into fucking a savings account. Imagine how much money you would have right now. I don't know how old all of you are, probably 12. I don't care. You still would have a lot of money for every time that you went to a barber. At least if you live in Sweden, because Sweden is fucking expensive, right? So going to the barber is easy $50. That's like a cheap barber. So for every time that I would cut my hair, I would have an extra $50, or my parents, or whatever. If you just took all that money, saved up for 20 years, it would be so much fucking money. What the fuck? Why is not cutting your own hair a thing? I don't get it. And imagine getting taught in school, though. Just you have that class where you kind of learn how to cook, right? Imagine having that class, but you learn how to cut hair. You learn how to cut your friend's hair. You learn how to cut your own hair. It's like a basic thing in school, right? Imagine if that was the case. Okay, two things would happen. One, you would never have to go to the barber again. You would have all that money saved up and you would have a lot of free time, and that's just good, right? And two, you would never get a bad haircut again, because you would never have to explain exactly how you wanted your hair to a fucking barber who just doesn't care at all. She has this fucking brochure of haircuts that she can do and just does it on you, right? Doesn't matter what you say, basically. She's gonna take one of those styles, modify it slightly to kind of fit your demands, and you're still gonna walk out there looking like shit, because that's what always happens with barbers, and fucking three, you would have straight up education in cutting hair. You would always have jobs, if you were taught to cut hair since grade school, you would always have a job. All of these old people, who didn't get taught how to cut hair, they would go to you to get their hair cut, and you could start a business out of grade school. Isn't that fucking genius? Isn't that exactly what this fucking world needs right now? We all need a job, right? Everybody needs a job. I need a job. Why not teach kids to fucking cut hair? Really? Cut their own hair, cut other people's hair. Why grade school? Why not start in fucking daycare, Those kids love playing with scissors. Just give them a lot of scissors and teach them to cut hair. By the time they're fucking finished in high school, they'll be the best haircut guy in the world. They'll be fucking world-class barbers, each and every one of them. And those people would have no trouble getting a job in their entire life, because cutting hair is such a universal thing. They could fucking move to Spain and cut hair, What the fuck, dude? Why isn't that a thing? And while we're speaking of things that you don't get taught in school, the basic example is, why don't I get taught how to change a tire, That's not as relevant anymore, because everybody uses the bus or train or fucking bicycles where I live specifically. Doesn't really matter. But why do you not get taught how to make coffee, right? Because the first job you have, if you're gonna work in a building, an office or whatever, or just every kind of job, the first thing that you basically will be in charge of is making coffee and bringing coffee to everybody who's a bit more senior than you are, right? So why the fuck did I not get taught how to make coffee in school somewhere? Why? Even the teachers drink coffee all the time. Why did we not get taught how to make coffee for our teachers? We're gonna make coffee for fucking our bosses forever, you know, after school? Why not teach us how to make a great cup of coffee, like a cup of coffee that will fucking give you a promotion in whatever company that you work at? Why do we not get taught to, why wasn't like a barista thing instead of making food, you know? Because if you're gonna become a food guy, you know, a restaurant owner or whatever, you'll have to do some, you know, post-grade school education and post-high school education, you know? You're gonna have to go to a culinary school, basically. But coffee, you know, to become a barista, that's super simple. That's like a 2-week course here in Sweden, you know? Why don't we get taught that in school so we can have like a base, you know? So that's also kind of a job that you could get straight out of high school. A barista. Why is that not a thing? I mean, for me it wasn't a thing. I guess it could have been for you guys out there. But unless you went to a culinary school, I seriously doubt it. Why did we not get taught how to make a proper, nice cup of coffee? Q&A, I guess, you know, ask me anything. The question today is, how do I come up with my YouTube video ideas? And you know, it's really simple. I have this really great technique, okay? It seems like it won't work, but I promise you this will work, okay? You go to your browser, you open a new window, and you type www.youtube.com/Wi-Fi Luke, and then I upvote every video, then I subscribe to him, and then, you know, I go out walking, and then just, you know, I get the greatest idea for videos, you know? So seriously though, thank you for watching. If you liked the video, please give me a like. If you didn't like the video, give me a like. If you hated the video, you know, subscribe to my channel. If you liked the video, subscribe to my channel. You know, see you guys later. Peace!